So, I got Spider-Man Remastered last week on PC. This will tie back later, don't worry, I'm not saying it for no reason. But going to the main topic, Merry Christmas everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. And welcome to the Christmas special I talked about yesterday. In this video I review every Christmas project in the MCU, including Iron Man 3, Hawkeye, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And no, despite being on the thumbnail, I will not be reviewing Spider-Man No Way Home, since I said in one of my shorts that it's my favorite movie, so you can assume that I gave it a 10 out of 10. But the rest, I haven't talked about the rest, which is exactly what I'm going to do in this video, starting with the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I liked it, it was pretty funny and it was basically a lot of character moments. I love the parallels this special had, like in the beginning when Mantis doesn't want to tell Quill that she's his sister. The story with Yondu is bitter and sad, but when Mantis tells him that she's his sister, the memory with Yondu is good and happy. And I loved Kevin Bacon, you can tell he's having a blast just being there. However, it was kinda weird that they just abducted him and it was treated like a joke. But other than that, I loved it. Overall, it's a pretty good 7 out of 10 in my opinion. Now moving on to the Hawkeye series. Episode 1 was a pretty good introduction to the series. It introduced Kate Bishop in a nice way, involved Ronin in a nice way, which then involved Clint in, again, a nice way. And also set up the second episode in an amazing way, with both the murder plot and with the two heroes meeting. Overall, an 8 out of 10. Episode 2 was worse than the first one, not by much, just a bit worse. Hawkeye is understandably an absolute dick and Kate is just sad that he's like that. Every scene with Clint is good. Every scene. Just Kate's family is the one in this episode that's mid, and everything else is great. Also, the cliffhanger makes no sense if you don't know who Echo is. Episode 3 was a little better than the first one. The car chase was a fun ride, pun intended, and the cliffhanger was better than the last two by a long shot. The opening, aka Echo's origin, was way too short, but since we're giving Echo a whole show dedicated to her, it doesn't matter that much. Plus what was needed was established. And the parallels between her and Hawkeye was honestly good, with them both being deaf was good, and also allowed for some good humor, and the emotional moment of the episode was truly peak. Overall, 9 out of 10. Episode 4's opening sets up the rest of the episode's events in a great way. Hawkeye relating to Kate's mom's problem of not wanting for Kate to get hurt, so by the end when Yelena comes to kill Hawkeye, he does what her mom would have wanted and tells her to leave it to him. The Christmas moment in this episode was great. Kate realizing that she's the reason Hawkeye isn't with his family and tries to comfort him with something small for Christmas was nice. And the moment where he confesses that he was Ronin was great. Great acting from both actors and a truly great episode. It's not perfect, the emotional moment doesn't hit as hard as the third episode, and the Yelena reveal was the most expected thing in the world. But other than that, it was great. Overall, 8 out of 10. Episode 5's opening wasn't needed at all. She could have just said she blipped. Hell, it's implied she's been blipped in the Black Widow movie. However, the scene at Kate's house was great. It was taken just enough seriously where it wasn't a joke, but you got the message she tried to send. And Clint having to go back into the Ronin suit to fight Echo was the highlight of the episode. The action scene was great. The setup was great. Generally, everything was perfect. The start with Kate and her mom wasn't the best, but it did show off their history and also did set up her stepfather's arrest later in the episode. And the cliffhanger was wild. Keeping in the show was something no one expected, and I love it. Overall, 8 out of 10. In episode 6, they wasted no time introducing Kingpin. He was literally the first character we see. He was great here. I haven't seen the Daredevil series, but he's still great in this, and I love that everything in this episode happened because of him, and he breaks down the Bishop family, and I loved it. As for everyone else, they were great. Kate and Clint's arc was great. Clint finally accepting help from Kate and realizing that he's her idol, whether he likes it or not, is amazing. And Kate becoming her own hero and realizing that she can help people was great. Kate finding out her mother did all the crimes was rushed and unexplained though. That's my biggest problem with the episode. Other than that, the action was great. The only fight that was kinda disappointing was the Kate vs Kingpin fight, because Kingpin lost due to some Disney XD type. But other than that, everything else was great. Yelena vs Hawkeye wasn't a spectacle. It was an emotional fight with Clint trying to convince her that Black Widow killed herself and her not believing it until the whistle Hawkeye did, which was hers and Natasha's calling card, where she broke down into tears. Basically the better version of BVS. And the ending where they burned the Ronin suit was the most fitting way to end the series. Overall, 9 out of 10. This overall was an 8 out of 10. It had its ups and downs, but still it was amazing through and through. The action was great, the writing was impeccable. I'm not a drama guy, but I love the drama in this series. The misdirection was pretty mid at the end, but still that's one of my only complaints. Kingpin was set up wonderfully, and Yelena was great in this. Wish we could have seen more of her, and her relationship with Kate was funny as hell. Generally, this series is amazing, and I really hope we see Yelena and Kate in other projects, mainly Echo, Spider-Man 3 and Daredevil Born Again. Moving on to Iron Man 3. This isn't a Christmas film, but it takes place during Christmas and I wanted to watch it, and I loved it. However, I can understand why people didn't like it. The reason I liked it was because Iron Man in this film deals with stress and covers it up with corny jokes. I don't wanna lead too much, but that's how I've been recently. Which again goes back into why I mentioned I bought Spider-Man Remastered, which again I'll explain later. Mainly due to this video because it's huge and I don't have time to make, and I don't have a lot of time to make it. No, I don't have it that bad where I need to walk out of my class because I'm having a panic attack every time someone mentions my YouTube channel, but still it was great. And the corny jokes are the cherry on top, as they were funny as and Harley was great. He was a nice person to have alongside Stark while he was in the middle of nowhere. Sad that he kinda got ignored after a while, but his ending was wholesome. And this film's spectacle was fucking insane. The Malibu mansion attack, the plane saving moment, the ending, the stealth section, it was all wonderful. The only bad thing about this was the villain, which was pretty bad. The twist wasn't even my problem. My problem was that the new villain was so uninteresting when it was just pure evil for no reason. Overall 7 out of 10. The villain killed the rating, and I don't even mind that it wasn't the Mandarin, because even if it was, I'd still have the same problem with him, that he was pure evil for no reason. So, why did I mention that I bought Spider-Man Remastered? Well, let me give you a little backstory. So I bought this game on Thursday, the 21st. It downloaded through the night because 75 gigabytes is insane for Wi-Fi. And then on Friday, I returned from the last day of school this year. I hopped onto my PC and played the game for 8 hours straight. The last time I did that was 2 years ago. So when I got off my PC, you'd expect that I'd feel horribly that I had wasted the whole day with a video game and that this video wasn't getting made. But no, I felt amazing. I had been so stressed from making this video, and I just needed a break. So after giving myself that break, I felt more energized than I had in months. And this lasted for the rest of the day, as I'm writing this 15 hours later. So why am I telling you this? Is that if you're working on something and you start getting stressed about that thing to the point where you're a different person, because this happened to me. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it was insane. Then give yourself a little break. It doesn't have to be playing a video game for 8 hours straight. Just go on a walk, chill with your friends, with your family, whatever it is. Just give yourself that break and you come back better than ever. So that's it for this video. For the next one, I have no fucking clue. I have run out of ideas. I have one idea that's actually pretty good, and I'll start working on another big project, bigger than this video. Jesus Christ, why do I give myself so much work? And I'll definitely have something on New Year's, just saying everything that happened this year and what I and Marvel have planned for the next year. And as always, final thing before you leave: drink water, eat an apple, talk to your family, subscribe, and follow my Instagram, Anton02023. And as I said, give yourself a break, you deserve it. And I'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas.